Hello, and welcome to another episode of cEDH TV Gameplay with me, Mons, and today guested by Michael.
Hey.
Guys, you forgot to mention me. What the? Anyways, I get it. I am playing a rat. I'm playing Vren, the Relentless. I love Bloomborough right now, so I'm just kind of making my way through some different commanders. This is a Dimir deck. It's got a number of the Dimir packages one would expect when you play this sort of deck, but also there's some advantage that comes from potentially exiling creatures to my opponent's control rather than allow them to go to the grave. So should be fun.
So while floundering around figuring out what to play, I looked at Leadership 16 and saw that someone topped the 16 with Rakdos recently. So I felt like I have to try the deck and see what it actually got, because like my version was really like rudimentary, just seeing what maybe was viable. And since the top 16, I assume this is better. So I'm trying this list by the real Chris Mack, see if it's good. I had a Dargo though, because I have to have Dargo.
Me, I'm playing Grenzo, Rakdos, as well as Pontus actually. This is a stacks or creatures burst deck, you could say. The big plan is to get Grenzo into play and then activate Grenzo a bunch of times to slam creatures and then overwhelm with mid-range. You could summarize it too. But there are some Rakdos combos in there as well, but it's an easier game plan to just focus on activating Grenzo a lot. Kinda fun, kinda casino.
I saw this list and I thought, this seems really fun, so I wanna test it out. And let's see how it goes. We have some nice combos with Nadu, the Thrasios package. Okay, we have one land, we have a Bird of Paradise, we have a Mental Misstep. This is not what we're looking for as the first 7, because we have literally like only a Bird of Paradise turn 1. That's not what we want to see in the first seat. So I'll go to my second 7. Then we have the One Ring, we have a Cradle. Now, I'm just going to million, I'm going to 6. It is a decent hand, but it is not good enough. Keeping this, we're going for an Imperial Seal turn 1, and we have like a Neoform. We have one of the combos for Nadu already on his hand. So I'm thinking of keeping this, and I'm going to bottom the Dread Return.
So this hand is actually rather good. I have to say I like it. Black and red and a Soul Ring. So we will do a Soul Ring turn 1 and then a Grenzo as a 4/4 on turn 2. And from there we can start activating. But we also have some pretty decent card in the hand as well, like Skirk Prospector, Treasure Nabber and Phyrexian Revoker. So I think this is going to be a game where we get that beautiful Grenzo mid-range. Let's keep it.
So this hand is a turn 2 Rakdos, protected by a Deflecting Spots and a Blood Artist, which is not relevant yet. I'm mulliganing this, I don't have enough gas. This hand has a lot of the pieces we're looking for in the hand, except for mana. And mana is the main thing I'm looking for, so I don't want to keep this. Let's go to 6. We're continuing on the theme of low to no mana. So far our first 7 was the best hand, because it actually cast a commander and we could have top decked into something. But this is just a nothing burger. It's like a turn 2 Arcane Signet into turn 3 Blood Artist plus Marionette Master. Wow! Yeah, let's go to 5. On 5 we get the No Lander. Let's go. Yeah, not much to do. Let's go to 4. So our 4 is actually interesting. We're missing a lot of things. Like this hand is very awkward in that it doesn't really do the things you want it to. Or it kind of does, but like it doesn't do everything. This is actually pretty good, like 6. I guess 7 as well, but I don't think I keep it on 7. So what we have to decide here is if we go for the commander play, which would be keeping 2 lands and Reckless Barbarian for a turn 3 Rakdos, hopefully followed up by a Fury. I think that's the safest hand to keep. But we could also go for 2 lands and Tomb and Cathonia Nightmare. We would need to find a creature for that to work, and I don't think this pod is very artifact reliant, so I don't think we can just Dockside loop willy-nilly. So I actually think that's a bit too risky of a thing to have as our only game plan. So we're playing it safe, but you can just watch me see turn 2, turn 3, how Dockside would make infinite, and I will regret this. But I'm playing it safe, I'm playing into my commander. If it gets killed, we cry. There's a lot of scenarios we cry. But I kind of think this is... First 7 was still better, but like this is fine-ish. So yeah, let's see if we get to our commander. Or if we die.
Well, we have 0 lands in this one, so we are going to go ahead and pitch. Such a bummer to really not have another land in this. Moxable would be offline too. I think it would be too risky. I mean, I'm hoping that there's a land underneath there, and I don't want that. So I'm going to go ahead and go to 6. This hand is much more doable. We have some of the interactive pieces that works really well for this commander, and we can get our commander out on turn 1. We also have Pact, although we can't pay for Pact, so I may go ahead and just discard that, go down to 6. Yeah, we'll go ahead and bottom Pact of Negation and get the game started.
Going to draw. Playing this Polluted Delta. I'm going to pack that for an Underground Sea and play an Imperial Seal. I will look up a card and I will pass the turn after it.
I will draw a card. Play this as a Swamp, Blightstep Pathway. Tap it to cast a Soul Ring, and I'm going to cast a Phyrexian Revoker, naming Rakdos the Muscle. Now he will still be able to generate the triggers, but it should be able to interact with Pontus a slight micromillimeter at the very least. Here, I pass.
Go to my turn. Land for turn will be a Mana Confluence, and then I'll pass my turn.
Take my turn. Draw a card. Land for turn will be a Bloodstained Mire, and I'll fetch. Fetched up an Underground Sea, then I'll play Jewel Lotus. Crack Jewel Lotus for 3 blue. Tap this for black. Cast my commander, Vren the Relentless. We're off to the rat races. Pass the turn.
Going to untap. Draw my card where I took it for. I will start playing this Breeding Pool. I will put this Mana Crypt into play, and I will cast my Tymna. If that's okay, passing after.
Draw a card. Mountain. I'm going to announce and cast Grenzo with X being 2, making him into a 4/4. I'm then going to punch Pontus for 2 with my Phyrexian Revoker, and then I pass the turn.
Take my turn. Land for turn will be this Winding Canyons that has tap for colorless or 2 mana, tap. Until end of turn, you may play creatures as though they had flash. Spicy. Those 2 for a Reckless Barbarian. It's just a 2/2 that has sacrifice it to add 2 red. So just a mana boundary. And with it in play, I will pass the turn.
My turn. Draw a card. And for turn is an island. First, I'll move to combat, and I will send Vren at Michael for 3.
I'll take 3.
Excellent. Damage resolves. I will now tap both lands, and I'll cast a Volatile Storm Drake. All right, with Volatile Storm Drake, when it ETBs, I can exchange control of that with a target creature. I will exchange control that and Grenzo.
I have a response. For on the exchange happens, I will Deadly Rollick your Drake. This will remove the Drake, and there can no longer be an exchange.
I have no response to that. Well done. I will pass the turn otherwise. No blocks. Take 2.
Post-combat main phase. I'll like to pay 1 and draw a card, so I gain in 1, yeah. Just play my Thrasios, and I will pass the turn.
I'm gonna go to my turn, draw a card. Going to combat with my Grenzo at Redrick. 4/4 coming your way.
No blocks. Take 4.
I pass.
Go to my turn. Land for turn will be a basic swamp. Not basic, but it's very fancy. I'll tap 3 mana and sacrifice my Barbarian to cast my commander, Rakdos.
So with Vren's ability, your creature gets exiled instead of goes to grave.
And then with Rakdos in play, I'm passing the turn.
All right, in your end step, I'll make a 1/1 per Vren's ability. This creature gets +1/+1 for each other rat you control, where X is the number of creatures your opponents control that were exiled this one. And I'll take my turn. Land for turn is Undercity Sewers, which comes in tapped, and I will Surveil. I will keep that on top. Let's go to combat. I'm going to send, again, Vren at Michael.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Damage resolves. Time to play some defense. We will cast a Grafdigger's Cage.
I will respond to the cage by activating Grenzo. View the bottom card. I get this Beat Etelback Sheaf that will come into play with 2 little goblin tokens. And then I'm gonna activate Grenzo again. View the bottom card, and this Heartstone will go to the graveyard. Then I have no further response to the Grafdigger's Cage.
All right, Grafdigger's Cage resolves. We will pass turn.
In my upkeep, I will flip for the Mana Crypts. Heads, no damage. Draw cards. Play this Noble Hierarch. And then I will move to combat. I will swing at Rhetoric for 3, because it gets +1/+1 from the Noble Hierarch.
No blocks.
I will gain 3. Post-combat main phase, I gain 3, lose 1, draw a card. I will pass my turn after.
We need to get rid of that Grafdigger's Cage, and I guess we need to kill Rhetoric to do that. Boggart Harbinger. When Boggart Harbinger comes into play, search your library for a goblin card, reveal it, then shuffle your library and put that card on top of it. I'm going to find Goblin Crater Maker. This is a goblin that can destroy artifacts, which will solve my problems with Rhetoric. But I'm also going to swing at him with Grenzo and my 2/2.
All right, I will block with my rat token, 2/2. The 2/2 will trade.
Second main phase, I'm gonna cast this Skirk Prospector and pass the turn.
In your end step, I make a rat token, again with the same abilities from Vren.
Go to my turn. I kind of wanted this to be different, but here we are. Let's start by going to combat. I enjoy this plan of killing Rhetoric, so 6 coming at you, Rhetoric.
How did we all gang up on Redrick? Where did this start?
No blocks. Take 6.
Post-combat, I will cast this Fury by evoking it, exiling this Greater Gargadon. ETB, there will be 2 different ETBs, 1 to deal 4 damage and 1 to sacrifice it. Stack them so that first deals 4 damage to the creature that otherwise exiles it. So I would first want to kill Rhetoric's commander and then sacrifice it.
Wow, no one likes that board state apparently.
It was pointed out to me that Vren has ward. While I have the mana, I don't care that much. So instead I am killing the Phyrexian Invoker, the Tymna, and the Skirk Prospector.
The Thrasios activation. Discard. I'll put this on the bottom and I will reveal a Sword of Plowshare. Goes into my hands.
After that happens, Fury will sacrifice itself to itself, and that'll trigger Rakdos, and I will target myself to exile the top 5 cards of my library. I will exile Ingot Chewer, Sacrifice, claim the Firstborn, Shadow of Mortality, and an Urborg. To start us off, I will pay a red, or a black rather, to evoke a Ingot Chewer. Ingot Chewer will have 2 ETBs. I will stack them, so it first destroys an artifact and then sacrifices itself. And for artifact, it will try to kill the Grafdigger's Cage. So Grafdigger's Cage is destroyed, and after that, with the sacrifice on the stack, I'll tap my Mining Canyons for a colorless, but I'll use that to cast a sacrifice, sacrificing Ingot Sugar, putting it into exile. And I would like to make 5 black mana. Trigger Rakdos, and I'm targeting myself. The Rakdos ability resolves, and I will exile the top 5 cards from my library. It'll be a Chromox, a Gamble, Rakdos Theater on the 3, Vamp Tutor, and the Mox Diamond. Then my sacrifice makes 5 black mana. As land for turn, I will play a Urborg. I'll use one of my black floating to cast a Claim the Firstborn, targeting Thrasios.
Yeah, it's okay.
Claim resolves, and I get the Thrasios. I'll use another black to cast a Vampiric Tutor. Vampiric Tutor resolves and I lose 2 life. Putting this card on top, because haha. Then I will activate Rakdos, sacrificing Thrasios to target myself with Rakdos ability, or trigger. Exiling a Dargo and a Imperial Tutor. I'll tap a black to... Actually, tap a black, 3 mana, tap a black, use 2 floating, to cast a Imperial Recruiter. ETB, finding a Goblin Engineer with ETB. I'll use 1 black to cast Dargo, sacrificing Imperial Recruiter. Trigger Rakdos, target myself for 3. Trigger Vren, exile my Recruiter.
I will Mindbreak trap this.
Dargo is Mindbreak trapped. I will exile the top 3. I'll exile a Besieged Mirror, Chthonian Nightmare, and a Boggart Traveler, a flip land. I will cast a Lotus Petal, tap Mana Confluence, taking damage to cast a Gamble. Gamble, put this card in my hand, and I'll discard a card randomly. Discarding, Blindside Diamond. Okay, now you people are safe. I will cast a Mox Diamond, not discarding a land, going to graveyard. I'll cast a Chrome Mox, imprinting an Animate Dead. Tapping to sacrificing my Lotus Petal to cast a Chthonian Nightmare. Chthonian Nightmare will give me 3 energy, and then I'm passing.
All right, in your end step, we have Vren's ability. So I had 1 rat before and make 7 more, and then I'll do the math here in a minute about how big they are. The rats are 9/9s, yeah. The total power for each of the rats, except for Vren, is 9/9. Because it gets +1 for every other rat you control. So yeah, thank you, Pontus, for all the sacrifices you made, literally, to make this happen. All right, let's go to my turn.
Pontus, what have you done?
I had 66% chance to win that game. I don't regret a single thing.
All you needed to do was pay 2 mana for Fury.
Let's go to combat. Swing 4 rats at Pontus, and I will send my commander as well as 4 rats at Michael.
I'll die.
Me too.
I live for now.
I will then spend 3 and pay 2 to cast a Phyrexian Metamorph. And I'm going to copy Grenzo. That resolves, and I'll pass turn.
Go to my turn, draw a card. I don't need that anymore. I would rather draw something different. We're going to activate Grenzo. Looking at the bottom, that's a land. We need something different. Casino. Looking at the bottom. Mana Crypt. I concede. But yeah, you got me. I pass to you. Enjoy.
All right. Well, we'll just untap and draw, then go to combat, swing all the rats at you, and win the game. Rats off to me. All right, so I did not mention this earlier, but this list came from Nybar. I found their list just searching up things. Yeah, I like to just find fringe commanders and try them. And this reminded me a bit of last year when I was playing another Dimir commander that does exiling. The name is escaping me at the moment, but it's a horror that you exile things with, and it can be fringe, but I had fun.
I think that the part where you're exiling creatures is actually kind of good, considering some combos rely on that in this format. And I have to say, I did not expect to die to an overrun of rats.
Me neither. Also with the Great Attacker's Cage.
I was fully aware of the risks. I just failed my gamble. The deciding moment was basically not killing Vren with the Fury, but because I needed to deal with both Vren and Fury, I kind of felt like I'll just slow play it and like try to develop value. Then I hit Ingot Chewer into a lot of more value, which made me kind of regrets not killing it earlier because all of my combo lines are like turned off, and I get to a point where I can really combo, but I can't because of Vren. So gamble was the deciding factor post not hitting Vren, but I think I actually stand by not killing Vren in the beginning. It's just I managed to stumble into a winning line anyways. I just didn't know that was coming, because how can I?
As a Rakdos player, I totally understand. We live to casino.
All right, everyone, that's all we have for this week's episode. We will see you